What's up, Familia? Dayspring here to discuss Rise of X for Powers of 10, an announcement that just happened an hour ago. And it's funny, I thought I would have the day off here. I thought I would be able to just, sit back, have fun. And I was like, I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off because I'm going to be on the road starting Friday. And I'm going to be on the road for like 2-3 months. So I'm going to come to the rooftop in my neighborhood, and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And surprise! I think I even made a joke about it in a previous episode of the podcast. I was like, ooh, what's it going to be called? We have Fall of X, so we're going to get Rise of X. And we are getting Rise of X. And a lot of people really love this announcement. The engagement came quick and fast. It was just getting a plethora of DMs, and I posted the image, and there were some comments. Now, my initial reaction was, why are we doing Rise of X? I don't get it. Someone needs to explain to me. We are still in the middle of Fall of X. This is my thing about Marvel right now, is that before the event is even over, before Fall of X is even over, we're already promoting the next event. So I don't even have time to get excited for Fall of X. I mean, I'm not. I mean, Shadowcat with a K, you know what I mean? But I can't believe that we're already now looking at Rise of X. I mean, the Hellfire Gala just happened in July. We literally just kicked off Fall of X like 2-3 weeks ago. And now we're already looking past it to Rise of X. So shrug. But as I kind of settled down with my emotions, I remember that, we talked about this in a previous episode of the podcast, that because of the way solicitations are done now, Marvel is looking ahead to next year already, and they have to get those retailers excited, get those orders in. So that is why we are getting these announcements, and they're tying them into marketing. And obviously, we have New York Comic Con next month. So of course, they want to hype something up for New York Comic Con, and that's where we're going to find out more about Rise of X. But in terms of my theories, I just don't know. I don't know what this is supposed to tie into.
Understand? I don't understand, bitch. Don't understand. I don't understand, bitch.
Let's read the announcement here. There's not much, but we'll read it and we'll go over some speculation and theories that people are kind of like throwing around there. All right, so just released. Catch a glimpse of Marvel's next big thing ahead of New York Comic Con 2023. Fall of the House of X, Rise of the Powers of 10, and more to be announced this October. Oh, ahead of New York Comic Con 2023, Marvel wants to offer you a special glimpse of an announcement to come at our next big thing panel. While all will be revealed at the panel on Saturday, October 14th, prepare for some sneak peeks ahead. It's the beginning of the end for Krakow. The final battle of the X-Men's Krakowan age begins in Fall of the House of X and Rise of the Powers of 10. It's going to be written by Jerry Dugan, Kieran Gillen, with art by Lucas Wernick and R.B. Silva. And that's it. That's all we got. So 2 titles coming January 2024. It's going to be revealed. More is going to be revealed at New York Comic Con, and that makes sense because solicitations have to be, posted ahead. Is this going to tie into the new X-Men announcement we got at San Diego Comic Con, where a lot of people are speculating that Apocalypse could be leading the X-Men, right? That's something that me and Planet X-Men have been talking about because it's the Age of Apocalypse astonishing X-Men logo that we have there. And New X-Men obviously is a homage to Grant Morrison's New X-Men. So is anyone's guess there on what can happen? I've told you this before, and I'll repeat it again. The tea I have from various sources is that Marvel, the higher ups at Marvel, not even editorial, the higher ups, the publishing executives at Marvel are still undecided if they want the Krakowan age to go forward. This looks like they're ending the Krakowan age. If we are to believe the marketing copy, they have made their decision. So I knew like a big event was coming on the horizon. I didn't know which way it was going to lean. If we were going to lean towards reestablishing Krakow, or if we were going to lean towards going back to more traditional X-Men. Based on just this marketing copy with no T, I'm just saying based off of marketing copy, this sounds like we're going to end the Krakowan age. I mean, it would be very false advertising if they're like, hey, by the way, Jake, hey, Krakowan age is still going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really going to end, but this is saying that the Krakowan age is coming to an end. Although let's talk about this. The beginning of the end. I mean, that would have been the Hellfire Gala, wouldn't it? Technically, that would have been the beginning of the end. And obviously, we're paying homage to House of Ten and House of X, and Powers of Ten from Hickman's initial launch back in 2019. So I don't know, Familia. Your guess is as good as mine on what could be happening here. We know Jean is going to come back in Immortal X-Men. We know in Immortal X-Men several plots have been seeded. Destiny saw this future. We know that Phoenix is on the horizon. We've seen them already foreshadow Exodus leading the mutants through the desert and the Sense of Sinister event. So let's see what they're doing. I will say the two strongest writers right now are Dugan and Girian Gillen. So I am happy that they're both going to come together. I think Warneck and RB Silva are fantastic artists. I'm really excited to see what they could pull there. Well, as more information is revealed, we will be able to speculate. It's kind of hard to speculate for these things. I'm going to be honest with you, because I remember during the Hellfire Gala when we were trying to solve Wanda's murder and thinking that there was some kind of mastermind plan, and people, I believe it was the ex-wife, they were putting together like a dragnet. I don't know the term. I was going to say psychic dragnet. They were putting together like a whiteboard with all of this information, and it ended up going nowhere because it was just someone who killed Wanda that was completely left field. It was Toad for no purpose whatsoever. It did not fit into the larger story or anything. So, it was just kind of like at the end, they're like, oh, it was Toad. And they're like, okay, Toad will take the blame for it. So it's kind of hard to sit here and be like, what are they gearing towards? I think Apocalypse will come back. I think Phoenix will come back. And I think we're going to see the X-Men probably go back to more traditional ways of how they used to be. Is that a mansion? I don't know. Are they going to keep Krakow? Maybe they'll have a Krakowan city. I have no idea. I really don't know. But I think it's clear that there's been a lot of cracks with the Krakowan age, and they're hitting the reset button. We know Tom Brevoort is going to be taking over the X books imminently. So let's see what they do. We did source a Familia on Instagram to see what people were saying. So this is some speculation. We have a comment that says, rise like a phoenix from the ashes. Yes, I hope this does deal with Jean Grey. We know Jean Grey is coming back. We've seen the Mark Brooks cover for Immortal X-Men, so we're really excited. We have Apocalypse Takeover and Lead Mutants, but on Krakow, on Arakko, and we have new X-Men right there. Again, I'm indifferent about Arakko. I don't know if I really want to see X-Men on Arakko. Are the Arakko mutants really that popular with people outside of X-Men Red who are reading that title and general X fans? I don't know. That seems like a really big gamble to me, but I love that we can get some kind of focus on the Arakko mutants. I would be very happy about that. We have Moira's 11th life from my bro, David. Listen, I've always said that I felt that Powers of 10 and House of X were leading towards a Secret Wars level event for the X-Men, something really big and major. So far it's been underwhelming. And Moira's 11th life, as far as I've tried to understand it, has been her as being a robot. I don't know. That could just be me. I certainly hope that this would be the case. I really do want that to be the case. Red and black Cyclops suit return. Yeah, the Revolution Cyclops post AVX when he's leading his underground Uncanny X-Men team during the Bendis era. Please, thank you very much. We have someone who says they don't return to the mansion. I hope so. I know a lot of people don't want the X-Men to return to the mansion. I want my cake and I want to eat it too. I want Krakow to stay, and I want there to be a mansion on Krakow. I want to say Arakko now. Because I'm so used to now, in the context of this episode, saying Arakko. I would love it if the X-Men went back to more of a school, because I've said this before. What the fuck is going on Krakow? Right? Like, how are you training the youth? I mean, there needs to be more world building with Krakow. It can't just be as easy as they took a gate to anywhere. I mean, do they have other restaurants other than the Green Lagoon bar there? Do they have schools? You know what I mean? I really want to see Krakow fleshed out. So in that regard, I hope we get more of Krakow, but put a mansion in there, and I think it could be a lot of fun. Or during the Hellfire Gala, when Forge was like, this is what cities can look like, I would love for Krakow to look more like a city and have a capital city, right? And let it look like Manhattan, but on Krakow, and make it look Krakowan-y. You know what I mean? That's what I would like to see. They'll make terrible editorial decisions. Well, I think Krakow as an IP is a really smart move. It's revived the X-Men. Jonathan Hickman came in. It was very solid. It's obviously grown into something larger. That's nothing new. We've said that endlessly. I I think they just need to focus on building out Krakow. But it doesn't sound like Krakow is going to endure. Again, I don't know how to read this marketing copy because part of me wants to be like, well, they're saying it's the end of the Krakowan age and this is the final battle. And I'm assuming it's going to be between Nimrod and Orcus. But they can easily pivot as they have in the past, and something completely new is going to happen, right? We saw this all the time in like previous stories where it's like, that's it, this is gone for good, and it's actually no, it was fine. So can the X-Men go back to Westchester? I don't know. Can they keep Krakoa and put a mansion on it? I think that would be really nice. I think that would be very lovely. So let's see where they go with that. Let me see more comments that came in. Eric, you better come back and get your daughter out. Oh, gosh, that's incredible. Captain DeMichael, one of our favorite people on the Power of X-Men community, says, I don't know. I don't know. You're right. It's anybody's guess. I really agree with you. I don't think there's been enough planted in the books just yet to suggest where all of this is going to go. I think this is going to be a really pivot in the story. It's just like Inferno. We didn't know where Inferno was going to go when Hickman was doing that, and it ended up going somewhere. I didn't enjoy Inferno. I thought Inferno was pretty bad, but it ended up going somewhere else. So let's see. All right, I'm going to read a few more comments here. We're going to do lightning round. Wait, we're falling? Really? Clearly the mutants can get back up, or can they ride? Wahaha, sigh, but I want details. Can't wait to hear, although I can. I'm dual-minded as the titles. I agree. I feel like I'm dual-minded about this. If you're going to give me a really good, solid story about ending the Krakowan age or reestablishing the Krakowan age, I'm all on board here. We just have to see what they're going to be doing with it. But again, I am stressing world building. We need better world building. Michelle Waffle Dettle says, "Oh my God, BB, we got to go find out." Yes, because we will be at New York Comic Con. M Wanders 4 says, interesting, we need the rise of X. Resurrect Dazzler and all the other mutants that were elected and fell. We got a KM Kibble 75 that says, I am overwhelmed with indifference. It just, you know what? Event fatigue. We literally just did the Hellfire. I mean, where have we been in the last few years, right? We've been in, I'm going to tell you, we've done Judgment Day, we've done Dark Web, we've done Sins of Sinister, we've done the Hellfire Gala, we've done Fall of X, and now we're doing Fall of the House of X and Rise of the Powers of 10, right? I mean, Rise of X, whatever. Whatever. It's a lot. I'm telling you, it's a lot. Hopefully the announcement will have something to do with X-Men 97 and its release date. I don't think I hope we get an X-Men 97 release date soon, but I don't think these two things are tied. Maybe there is some kind of synergy with the marketing happening, but, X-Men 97 is rumored right now currently to be coming out in January of 2024. So this would coincide nicely if it is, but I don't think the announcements would be tied in any official way. All right, and our last comment here that we're going to read, who led mutants in Hickman's Powers of 10? What series Marvel will announce at New York Comic Con? New X-Men, but with the Age of Apocalypse font. My theory is Apocalypse take over and will lead all the mutants, but not on Krakoa, on Araco, and will stop the Civil War with Genesis. Yeah, I think it's clear Apocalypse is going to play some kind of role. I agree with what someone said about Rise and Phoenix Rising, because we know Jean is going to be back in Immortal X-Men. We know that's been hinted at already in Immortal X-Men and Destiny's issue. So let's see. Familia, drop your feels below. How do you feel about this announcement? There's a lot of speculation. Let it begin. I'm excited for New York Comic Con. We will be there. Familia, drop your feels in the comments below and watch out for more episodes in the future.